This episode is brought to you by Paradigm Shift. Paradigm Shift works with educational groups, corporate teams all over the country to unlock every individual's leadership potential through curriculum and team building and so much more. Paradigm Shift believes in learning leadership through experiential learning. There's something special about the act of doing rather than just listening. We want to show you the power of connection through Paradigm Shift. Visit ps.company. You heard that right. ps.company, not ps.com, to explore topics, workshops, and curriculums. Let's create positive change together. And I want to vouch for Paradigm Shift. I've done some work with them in schools and in corporate settings. They are dynamite. Go check them out. ps.company. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hitting that play button for another episode of the Hetty Coleman Podcast, where I sit down with fabulous people to have go-in conversations. Go-in is being consistent and doing the right thing that allows for you to achieve the wins that you have defined for your life so that you can live out your great story. Now, I want three things to happen when you listen in on these go-in conversations. I want you to learn from them. I want you to be inspired by them, and I want community to happen. I want a community of people to build around this podcast that wants to help each other achieve their wins. And we do that by sharing our stories. We share the right things that we have discovered to be consistent in to achieve whatever that win is. And so when I sit down with people, I'm really trying to say, okay, what is that thing that you're trying to achieve? What's the win for you? How are you trying to get there? What does it look like for you? But it's not always easy to communicate that, but I try my best. Now, the first podcast, the first episode of every month, I'm going to essentially be sitting down and just talking about the theme for that month. And each month I try to theme my podcast. And so like for this month, the month of July, is education. I'm actually doing it on both podcasts. I also host the Guthrie America podcast, where I'm making sure that every story is told in my community by the people who do life there and also the people who are from there. So super cool, but we're doing education. So just a bunch of teachers, people who are in education that I'm sitting down with and really trying to say this. What is it that you're being consistent in to be the best teacher possible that you can be? And so I also asked about 20 plus teachers that question, and they responded. And so I'm super excited about sharing those with you today. So again, the first episode of every month, I'm going to be sharing with you responses from the people that I asked the question to around the theme for that month. And right now, I'm getting ready to share with you responses from educators, teachers. And the question was this: what is the right thing that you try to be consistent in order to achieve the win of being the best teacher possible? Okay. And so I'm sitting here by myself solo. My wife typically operates behind the scenes, but it's just me. It is just me. And sometimes it just be that way that you just got to make it happen. But shout out to my wife for always jumping in and handling the behind the scenes stuff. She's been doing it for me maybe about a month or so now. But I think we're going to really, really enjoy working together in this capacity. But all right, we're going to jump into this, and I'm sharing with you just a few. If you want to read all of the responses from the teacher, and I encourage you to do so, just jump down into the show notes where you will find them. You know, before I get to, like, what is it? Have I already talked about not being able to keep my glasses clean? If anyone has any tricks on how to keep glasses clean, please message me on Instagram, hetty.coleman. Message me. I really need some help. My wife is actually texting me right now. And so I really need some help on how to keep my glasses clean. I don't know what my wife says that I'm touching them, but I don't think that I'm touching them. I really don't. I really, really don't think that's what it is. But oh my, look at, can you see that? I don't know what you, can you see that? Just, all right. So anyway, okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So the first one is Miss Cam Bryce. She's from Smyrna Primary School. And she says the thing, this is what she wrote. This was, so here's another thing. Like, here's the thing. You ask for one response and people give you 50 responses, right? So just bear with me because some people just didn't give me one right thing to be consistent in. They gave me they gave me the business, right? They poured out their heart. And so I'm willing to share their hearts with you all as well. So Ms. Cambright says this: putting God first and prayer. That's what those are the things that she tries to be consistent in. She says that way I'm staying accountable, organized, and able to walk in the fruits of the spirit and keep my mind sharp with always learning new things. Every student that I come in contact with matters, and with God's help, I am able to help them have a successful education and build a lasting relationship with them as well as the parents. Thank you, Miss Cam Bryce from Smyrna Primary School. I think that's in Tennessee. So, yeah, I preach. That's all I can say is preach the word, because I think that's true in the sense of like being a person of faith. When I think about what these fruits of the spirits are, patient, self-control, right, joy, all those things are great. I think when being in the classroom setting, working with kiddos, I mean, yeah, I think that's so important. Thank you again, Miss Kim Bryce. Now I got Miss Bruce, and she is from International School of Bangkok. What in the world? I am international here, ladies and gentlemen. This is so big time. So Miss Bruce says this: there's many things that I do, but the most important thing is build relationships with my students, having daily conversations, talking about their interests, getting to know as much as I can about them, and is essential because relationships is what teaching is all about. I talk to them throughout the day as much as I can instead of sending them by themselves to lunch or specials, which I could do. I walk alongside of students. This time is often when students feel comfortable to talk to me. I want to build a level of trust so that students feel comfortable to not only work hard but also joke and have fun with me, share their concerns, feel comfortable, feel comfortable to ask questions and have real conversations. This is the measure of my success. I love that. Thank you, Miss Bruce. So real. Like, yeah, I definitely can see that when walking with students to recess or to lunch, that's definitely a time where students are feeling way more relaxed and chill. So yeah, I see that, Miss Bruce. I see that. Meeting the students where they're at. I like it. Here's the next one, Miss Crump. Miss Crump says being present. She is with Hefner Middle School. She says being present, I feel that to be the best for my students, I need to be aware, engaged, enthusiastic, understanding, responsive, and not just reactive. They need me. I might be the only person that day or week that hears them, and at that the very least I try to understand what they are going through. I can't miss the cues. I need to be in the moment. Miss Crump, you better do that thing. I love that. Just making sure that you're in the moment. I want to consistently be in the moment so I don't miss anything. There may be a cue or something that a kid gives, and I don't want to miss that. I want to be on top of that. Yep, I feel you, Miss Crump. Miss Holt, she is from Western Oaks Elementary. She says, going back to this relationship thing, I think relationships is going to be the theme. I might need to do a theme one month around just relationships and seeing who I can bring in just to have conversations about. I guess marriage would probably be the thing. That would be really cool. That would mean I have to have 3 people, me and two. Yeah. So, yeah, that could be cool. So, building relationships with my students is what Ms. Holt says. Building relationships with my students and their parents, I have found that it is is one of the most important things I can do to help support success academically, socially, and emotionally. It is imperative that my students feel safe, heard, and cared for beyond academics. My parents know that we are a team and I can't do the work without them. They know that they have a partner in me and that their child is cared for and prayed for when they become one of my kids. So much of what I do every day is built on trust. I can't teach unless trust is the foundation. If students don't feel love, chances are they are not going to learn from me. They will merely just survive. If my parents don't trust me, chances are they won't support the journey when hard things come up. Man, Miss Holt, I like this. So not just talking about building relationships with the students, but also the parents, which I believe is so true. I'm a big believer that parents are they're the key in the child having success in their education. Because I mean, I love teachers, right? I think teachers do a great job, but it's the parents who have to show up for their kiddos. Because definitely, like she talking about, when those hard times come, it needs to be a partnership. We need to be on the same page with supporting each other. So, yeah, I felt that. I felt that, Miss Holt. All right, here's Miss Arnold. She's with John Marshall Enterprise Middle School. Here's another one. Relationship. Once the relationship is established, students will be comfortable to fail or succeed while allowing you to help with no reservations. These students, these students need to be able to be comfortable failing and succeeding. It's not just about the success, but how much do you learn from your failures? You learn a lot from your failures. So yeah, I love this. Miss Arnold wants those relationships with those students to be in such a place that they can know that failing, they're not going to be looked down on, or when they succeed. Come on. I, yes, I'm all in on this. All right. So here's Miss Crawford. Miss Crawford is with Fogarty Elementary. Come on, shout out to Guthrie, America. That's my hood, Fogarty. She is in my hood. So, hey, she says to be at school every single day is what she wants to be consistent in. Because she says that she encourages her students to be there every day, if possible, to receive the instruction that she gives. So therefore, she should be there to give that instruction. Yeah, like just showing up is half the battle, is what they always say. It's kind of like, I think it's the ACT or one of those tests to where whenever you take the test, they would say that you would get so many points just for writing your name on it, just for essentially showing up. Like every day, if you just show up, I once heard too, like somebody was saying if you just ran for 1 minute a day, that's 352 days in a year, 352 minutes, probably be more than what you would run if you didn't run at all. You know, like you tried to run 30 minutes a day. Man, like just showing up every day matters. It helps make progress. I like that. Here's another one, Miss Todd. I tell my kids that every day is a new day, no matter what happened. Yesterday will always start fresh. She says, man, my kids can have so much craziness going on and all of this stuff, but I want them to know tomorrow's a new day. We're starting fresh. Let's get in here. Let's do that. Yeah, Miss Todd, I like that. Shout out to you, Miss Todd, for just making sure the kids know that they get a fresh start each and every day. Miss Todd is at Charter Oak Elementary. Here's another one, Miss Powell. She says keep routines. Her thing that she wants to be consistent in is keeping the routines that she has set for herself. And I understand routines. I try to have routines. And man, when I don't show up for my routines every day, I can feel it in my waistline. Talking about this waistline, I have to do a wedding in September, and I got to get this weight down because I only have one suit. And I'm not buying another suit. I got to lose this weight, y'all, because I am not buying another suit. So right now I'm 250 pounds. I need to at least be 230 by September. Y'all keep track. I'm gonna keep y'all posted. So yeah, Miss Powell, keep those routines. She says my morning routine before work sets me up for the day and prepares my mindset My routines at school keep me and my students ready to learn and as calm as kindergartners can be. And my after school routine gives me space to decompress and relax. And she's at Esperanza Elementary School. Hope Miss Pal, I'm sorry if you watched it. I'm sorry if I messed that up. Please forgive me. All right, Miss Bettis. She says, spell out my classroom rules and expectations up front, then keep them consistently. So I'm assuming she's saying at the beginning of the year, or she may be doing this every day, setting the rules and expectations up. She may be doing this every day. And then she says, hey, I just want to make sure that I'm consistent in keeping them. So like we want to hold people to those rules and those expectations that we've placed down. So she says, hey, if you're not consistent in doing this, then what happens? Kids, they they begin to not do the rules and expectations that you set up for them because we not being consistent in keeping them. I feel you, Miss Bettis. Miss Bettis is at Humble Christian School. Thank you, Miss Bettis. Here's another one. Miss Drain says effective communication is key. She's at Prairie Queen Elementary. Now she goes on to say, as a PK through fourth grade special ed teacher, I work with about 10 to 15 teachers at a very large elementary school. It is important that I communicate the needs and accommodations for my students to their general education teachers. I also have to ensure that those needs are being met. This includes verbally, electronically, and in-person check-ins, as well as providing ideas and resources that they can use to help any student that may be struggling in their classroom. Ms. Drain said that communication. I teach relationship classes. I do these retreats periodically, maybe once a month almost. It feels like about once a month. And one of the things that I've learned from couples and in my own relationship, my own marriage to my wife, who's not here today, who's at the house right now, probably laid in bed, not here with me, helping me. But anyway, communication is key when it comes to relationships. And even so, she talks about being able to have good communication with her core team, which all of these people on this team are invested in these students. So we need to make sure that we're always on the same page. Shout out to you, Miss Drain. Shout out to you. For real. I like that. I like that a bunch. Here is Miss Dokes. I hope I'm saying that name right. Please forgive me if I'm not, if you watch this. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be rude. I just don't say names very well all the time. So anyway, here we go. Miss Dokes is with Millwood Arts Academy. She says, I'm working towards having more parents participate in class projects and activities to enhance student involvement and gain better understanding. Let me just clap for a second. I love that. Yes, yes, yes. One of the things, so I do these go in workshops. I want to do some goal setting. Let's just call it goal setting. I want to do some goal settings where I bring in some high school students, but their parents must attend with them, and not to work on their kids' goals, but to work on their own goals. But I just think if you can get both parent and child in the same room working together on something, man, that's gonna be inspiring to the kid, I would imagine. But I think also it just sets a good example, even if it doesn't inspire the kid. I think sometimes kids are like, I don't want my parents around, right? So yeah, I like this. And then Katie Kinder, Miss Kinder, relentlessly doing what is best for the kids. She's with Putnam City Schools. Yes, Miss Kinder, that's whatever it takes. Just whatever it takes. I'm all in. I'm trying to make greatness happen for these students in the sense of like pouring into them, trying to inspire them, creating moments of learning, building community. It's like the three things that I want from you all listening to this podcast. I want those three things. She's doing that. She's saying relentlessly, I'm fighting for these things, and that's the way that it has to be because things just don't happen. You got to fight for it. It's like this podcast. I love the idea of building community around this Go Win, where we're helping one another achieve uh, the wins that we've defined for ourselves, the goals. And in that, doing things like this and sharing these things with you all, hopefully somebody reaches out to some of these teachers, right? And says, hey, man, explain this to me some more. Talk to me about this because you got the schools, you got the last name. Just reach out to them and yeah, hit me up. And hopefully you can take from some of these things that these teachers have said and apply them to your classroom or to your way of doing the work that you do. This is what it's about. And you got to fight for that. Just like Miss Kinder saying, I'm going after making sure that I do the best for these kids. And so, yeah, y'all got me hyped this morning. These teachers got me, hype. Hype, 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 hype. So yeah, so these are some of the responses. Essentially, the question was, what is one right thing that you do consistently in order to be the best teacher possible? And these teachers have shared this with us. And like I said in the show notes, there's more of them. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody. Did I say that Miss Dokes was from Millwood Arts Academy? I want to make sure that I say that. Thank you to all the teachers that responded. Go support these teachers, like support their classrooms, reach out to them. Let's build a community that's truly all in on helping one another achieve our wins because we want to live out a greater story, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you for hitting that play button for another episode of the Hetty Coleman podcast. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, as always, go win.